Want to start a YouTube channel or a blog or an online business or a social media account? Then you need a niche. And I know you've heard that before, but what does it mean to niche down? Like, how do you define that? Well, in this video, I'm going to go through exactly that coming up. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If we haven't met yet, my name is Shane and this is Operation Passive Income, where we talk about building online businesses, creating new passive income streams, as well as generally just how to sell stuff online. In fact, that is the niche in which this channel plays within. So I'm sure if you have looked at anything about starting a YouTube channel or a blog or a social media account or an online business, you've heard this term over and over again. You need to niche down. But how deep do you need to go? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you the why, the how, and I'm going to give you 3 different examples of what it means to niche all the way down so that you can find the audience you are looking to serve. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to go and start with the why. So first, the reason why you're looking to niche down is you want to make sure that you are refining your target. You want to make sure that you know exactly who you're trying to get to your YouTube channel or to your website or your products in front of, so that you can get more views, get more clicks, get more purchases, no matter which way you're trying to go. Having a defined niche allows you to create that target. It lets you refine the content in which you want to put out, and it also lets you kind of fine-tune exactly what you're accomplishing in your business. But it also allows you to enable your own discovery. Anytime you're starting anything brand new, the amount of times that you're actually going to get those views or actually get eyeballs looking at your stuff, it's going to be very limited at first if you're too broad, if you've got your categories just all over the place. I'm sure if you can imagine, I'm here talking about business and building passive income streams and different ways to do that. But if you think of a lot of the major players in this space, if I say Sean Cannell, he's known for YouTube. If I say Pat Flynn, he's known for podcasting. If I say Stephen James, he's known for Amazon FBA. So niching down really allows you to define what it is you want to become known for. When people think of your name, they're going to think of this category. Now, as I'm sure you're well aware, looking at how many subscribers Shane has right now, this is a very new channel as well. And that's something that as I'm creating my content, I'm making sure that I'm defining the niche in which I want to play within. Now, I talk about passive income and online businesses, but my real goal and the niche that I'm going to define myself into is actually business planning. That's something that I've done for years and years and years, is how to create a business plan for starting here and what steps you take to get to your end goal. So you'll see a lot more content like that coming from this channel. But you defining your niche, that is what allows for your growth. Again, like I said, if you start out too broad, if you just say, I want to do a channel about fitness or running, well, there's a lot of people that run and there's a lot of different ways to run, right? Well, that's going to be one of the examples that I'm going to get down into. But first, I actually want to take a moment and help you guys define how you can start to pick your niche. Now, if you guys are actually looking to learn all about this stuff, before I get to the how, if you guys could, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down below, and there's a little bell right there. If you click that, YouTube will actually let you know anytime I put out a new video. I'll be publishing videos every Monday and Thursday to help you actually grow your online business and get started. All right, so it's time to define your niche. Now, hopefully you've got a pad of paper, maybe a pen so you can jot down a couple notes, because I want to help you actually define this. And I'll give you 3 examples after I go through these quick steps so that you can kind of see what I mean when I talk about niching down. But first, the very first step that you need to do is you need to write out the general category that you are wanting to create your channel or your website or your business around. Now, if you're even unsure of that part, maybe write down 3 or 4 of those ideas, right? What are the 4 different categories that you think that you can create content around? Because content is going to drive sales no matter what it is that you're trying to build or sell or actually put out there. And so maybe write down 4 categories. Do you want to do fitness? Do you like doing stuff outdoors? You know, do you like business, right? Or do you like cars? Like, what are those things that you're really passionate about that you feel like you can come up with a lot of content ideas around? So we want to start out by defining at least one of those categories, but if you're unsure, go ahead and write down 4. Okay, now that you have those and you have those kind of in your brain or written down on something, what you can do next is start with a nice brainstorm underneath that and start writing out all the different types of content that you can do under that category. And what you're looking for is you're going through that brain dump, right? Where you're just kind of writing as much stuff as you can out on the paper. You are looking for commonalities between those different content ideas. Because if those are the things that you're really passionate about and you notice that a lot of your ideas are kind of funneling into the same theme, then you're starting to define your niche. You're starting to niche down just a little bit. So now that you're seeing some of those commonalities, how could you define that, right? If you're seeing the same kind of content coming through, does that give itself a subcategory? And once you're in that subcategory, then you can also actually go through and do the same thing and start writing more content ideas that play into those ones. And you may even be able to sub down a little bit more. Now, as you're niching down, you're gonna find you're gonna wanna take your broad category and you wanna go down at least 5 steps in that so that you can define that target. Like I was saying, you wanna get laser focused in on just that one thing when you're first beginning. Okay, now that you have that part kind of dialed in, you're seeing some commonalities, now I want you to think of exactly who you are trying to speak to, right? Who are you trying to get to click on whatever it is you're trying to get them to click? So as an example, let's go back to that running thing that I talked about. And we'll start getting this into an example here. So if you want to talk about running, you enjoy running, well, what is the type of running that you like to do? Is it for track? Is it for marathons? Is it for Spartan races? Is it for Tough Mudders? Like, what is the kind of running that you're looking to do? So now let's say you chose Spartan running. So is it Spartan running for men or for women? Is it for older, younger? You can kind of go through and define that. Say you're looking to do Spartan racing for middle-aged men, right? Because you feel like you have a training program that you could offer them. Or you don't even want to do training programs. Maybe you want to do race reviews and you want to travel to the different races and create content and products around that. Great. So now we've got Spartan racing, running, Spartan racing for middle-aged men for race reviews, right? So now we're starting to really kind of target that in. You're now down 4 levels. So it gives you a much better idea of who you're trying to target. But now let's go ahead and take like that fitness piece, right? So fitness into running, into Spartan races, into for middle-aged men race reviews. That's 5 levels, right? Well, let's take fitness as a whole nother deal, right? Use this as a whole nother example. So you can take fitness, well then we want to talk about weight loss. Okay, so now we branched off into a completely different tree. So even just going one level, you can see how different that is. So if you want to talk about, I want to make a fitness channel, man, somebody who's looking for Spartan race reviews for middle-aged men is not also going to be looking for your weight loss channel, right? You see what I'm kind of talking about? We've already branched off into a whole different area. Okay, so now we've got fitness, weight loss. Well, do we want to talk about intermittent fasting? Do we want to talk about ketogenic diet? Do we want to talk about exercise? Now we can kind of figure that out. So let's go intermittent fasting, right? Okay, so we're gonna go intermittent fasting for men or women, right? Okay, let's maybe target men, right? I'm a man, probably can speak more to it about a man. So we're gonna do fitness blog for weight loss, doing intermittent fasting for men using 16-8 method, right? Whatever the case may be. Now you have started to define your niche. You now have a channel that is specifically about 16-8 intermittent fasting for men to lose weight. You now have a defined niche and exactly a target audience that you are looking for. All right, now I'm going to give you one more example and something a little bit more within kind of the niche that I'm wanting to play within. And that's using Pat Flynn. He has the Smart Passive Income podcast, which is really kind of what he became known for, right? So playing in the exact same space, we're talking about business, right? Well, from business, you go to online business into passive income into different methods, and we get down to podcasting, and from podcasting into podcasting for beginners. So you are now taking that step down each different level. And so if somebody's going, you know what, I'm interested in starting a podcast, I would bet money that they are going to run into Pat Flynn's exact content that's going to walk them through exactly how to get started. All right, everybody, I really hope that has helped you really understand what it means to go through and niche down. So now I've given you some of those how-tos, I've given you some examples. My challenge to you is to actually sit down and find your niche. If you were to do this, you haven't even maybe decided that this is something you want to do yet, but if you do decide you want to, I can tell you having a niche in mind is going to make it that much easier for you to just get started. Now, again, you guys can find more of my content down below. I've had the link to my website, Operation Passive Income. You can also find us on Google. Remember, hit subscribe down below, and if this information helped you at all, do me a favor and smash that like button. Give me that thumbs up. Hit subscribe and the bell notification so you know when I'm publishing my new videos on Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to check out a couple of the other videos on the channel here. I've got 9 different passive income streams that you can start today, as well as my latest one of how we actually built an $80,000 business from home in just 10 months. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'll see you on the next one.